My name is Vanessa Martinez Lagunas. I am the head coach of the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg and also a FIFA women's football instructor in grassroots and a UEFA technical expert. And I'm here at the Ontario Soccer Association Soccer Development Conference in Waterloo. That's a great question. So women, we experience many barriers when we are starting our path towards coaching. I guess the first barrier is money, because of course getting your licenses costs a lot of money. As you know, many female players, I was a player myself, a national team player, and had the opportunity to play in other countries, but still the money that you get from that is not comparable from what a male player gets, right? So male players, former players, have a lot of money to pay for their coaching education if they want to become a coach, but we, the females, don't have that. So first of all was money, and I really had the passion. I really wanted to become a coach, so I was just very proactive and tried to look for different organizations that will provide funding, scholarships or money for me to be able to apply for these or take these licenses, and that's how I was able to take or reduce that barrier. So I was able to get a lot of funding from scholarship money to take my licenses. I think another barrier is also in many countries we're always only very few women that are taking the courses, so sometimes the environment can be a little bit challenging. So think about that you are in a group of 35 people and you're the only woman, right? So it can be challenging. I can tell you that most of the licenses that I did either in the US or in Germany, where I had the opportunity to take coaching courses, usually that was the case. I was the only woman, or maybe maximum two, and when we were three, it was amazing. So definitely that's one barrier. Just having more women and also making the environment just more comfortable for the women. And I will say the third barrier is flexibility. Sometimes the courses are offered at difficult times. Again, women, we have to juggle many things in life: work, family, soccer, and then sometimes the courses are not offered enough. They have very limited spots, and usually the men get those spots, so we don't get many opportunities. And then if you combine it with the financial problem, with the environment itself, then that's why we don't get so many women. So those are some examples. Universities can provide an amazing environment to continue developing players, and I think that it can be the stepping stone, because right now when our players finish club, usually when they are 18 and they are not selected for a national team already, many of them drop, right? But the university is a great environment where these players that are 18, they can go to another place and play soccer at a high level, and we can have them here in Canada for 5 years. And if you look at the different universities here in Canada, most of the coaches are really qualified. So I've met most of my colleagues and they have high licenses. Most of them have master's degrees. They teach courses at the university, so they are also educators. We have great facilities. The universities have great facilities, and of course we also have experts in many areas of sports science. So I think the universities provide a great environment, and I will really encourage Canada and other countries to include the universities in the player pathway, because I think we can offer a lot, and maybe we can help those players, because we also have late developers. We have late developers, and if you bring them to this environment where they can train every day, at the same time they can get an education, I think is fantastic, and it should be taken into consideration. I think we have a lot to offer, and it will be fantastic if Canada will invest more in our league, in our university league, because it can be a really great way to develop more talent. I can just give you the example from our neighbor, yes, the USA. I can tell you that most of the female players of the US national team have gone through the NCAA, and probably I will say about 95% of more of all national team players from the US have gone through the university system. So it's proven that it can be really effective, and I think in Canada we're really behind in trying to use this for the benefit of Canada and trying to develop our players here, because it's the only chance. Canada is a big country. You need to develop a big base of players in order to be competitive internationally, and the only way to do that is if you develop them here in your country and not depending on another country to develop them for you.